Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of this episode where I repair and refresh the suspension bits for my 1988 BMW E30 318i. And in the last episode, I changed rims and tires because it's part of the vision that I wanted a classic OG looking E30. And that admittedly was planned much later, but I thought since I was going to repair the suspension bits, repair the steering, etc., I'm going to get the alignment done, so I might as well just change the rims and tires anyways. So be sure to check out the previous episode if you haven't, link in the description below or pop-up banner over there. We're talking about the choice of rims that I was choosing and the tires as well. So for this episode, we're going to go into the suspension bits, which there are more surprises. And as they say in every warfare, a battle plan works until you go into battle. It turns out the plan was just to change the suspension bits. I bought myself Bilstein B4s and stuff, but I found out other surprises which add a few thousand ringgit to my bill. So also we found some other parts of the car that was also dodgy and actually affected the ride quality, and I'm just so glad that the guys at NSS Service Center could figure those things out. I'm really excited for this because after months of contemplation, I decided to fit in Bilstein B4s because this is part of the vision for this car, to not only look classic but to feel classic as well, and Bilstein B4s is the as close as possible to the original setting of the car. So yes, at the end of the video, I'll be sharing how it feels like to drive the car after all of this is done, after spending a few thousand ringgits from my bank account. Now before we start, please be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and please hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications to make sure you don't miss any updates for the future reviews and contents from my channel. And by the way, thank you for tuning into this channel. And with that, please enjoy this episode. So here I am right now at NSS Service Center where I usually service Baby B, and it's almost been a month of discussion with Adrian and his team member Chia. And in our first visit, we found many of the bushings were cracked from the front lower arm to the rear, drive shaft boot, the tie rods were loose, so I decided to change majority of these parts and use back new OEM parts versus trying to refurbish or get second-hand parts. And these items are long, but the main ones are such things like the front lower arm bush, the front lower arm ball joints, the front stabilizer bar bush, the front tie rods, the rear drive shaft boot, both left and right, and of course all four of the absorbers and mountings. So we decided to go with Bilstein B4s because I want to restore as close as possible the original feeling of this car. And while we're at it, we also did other service like brake service and clutch fluid replacement and stuff like that. All in all, this whole service was quoted to be at roughly 6,000 ringgit. That's roughly around 1,500 US dollars for non-Malaysian viewers. That's including labor as well. Now, it's not much considering that a lot of things that we purchased were new OEM parts. But in comparison to the actual value of what I purchased the car to be 30,000 ringgit, that's actually, quite big, right? That's almost 20% of the value of the car. But well, I decided to go ahead and spend the money with the car because this is a daily driver, and more importantly, this is not only for the ride quality, this is for the safety aspect as well. And this is probably what's keeping me from taking Baby B on spirited runs and road trips as well. So, you know what? I thought just spend it all to make sure that I'm safe and keep everything tight. So yeah, that's the plan for repair. I stress plan, and we hope that everything works out according to plan, right? So life just gives you surprises. So this is our first surprise that we found with Baby. So guys, we are halfway through this whole process. We found out other problems with this car as well. The fuel line, this is where you fill in your fuel. It goes into your fuel tank, which is here. But this thing is starting to crack. You can see closer. So that's not really cool. So thank God the guys found this out. So we're going to change this part as well, right? This is part of the process to change this one over here. But I'm really glad we found this because that will be detrimental. And just when I thought that was the only issue, ta-da! Surprise! I was then told that my drive shaft is damaged and it needs to be repaired. So up until now, it's an additional 1,000 plus ringgit, and that's roughly around 250 US dollars for all these surprises. And I thought that should be the end of it, right? Just when I'm about to leave the workshop, I got a call from Adrian and he wanted to show me something.
Alright, so previously the absorbers that the guy was using on the original car, it seems like
it's lower, right?
Yeah, it's lower.
I always have that suspicion because every time I put the wheel in, right, always a bit lower.
Correct. Usually on the absorbers, they have a branding on. Like, is it Bilstein or is it Sarge or Melee? But this one has totally zero branding, so I don't know what brand he used.
Oh, so it could be another E30, right?
It possibly, but usually, even though it's OEM, usually they would have a brand on it. Yeah, you get me that? Like,
got it.
Yeah, correct. So this one totally has nothing, or someone has scripted off. Because usually, usually it would have like like a marking, like part numbers and everything. All the like some Bilstein logo stamp.
Even though it's OEM, they also have the logo.
Correct. So you can see this is totally
I see.
So that's why hence your car might be imbalanced from the beginning because due to the absorbers they used.
And I always noticed the clearance lower here compared to the front.
Correct.
So I thought it's normal because the springs are old or something, but it turns out the absorber.
Yeah, so you can see it's quite a fair bit actually.
It's
at
a
least
lot.
3 inches.
Yes.
3 inches easily.
I think this will make the car look much more look better right now.
Looks is one thing, but the main thing is the stability and the handling lah.
For sure. High speed cornering is actually a bit scary in this car over here.
Correct. So
God.
so I think now we solve it. So sometimes that's why and they must use reputable OEM parts lah. Because widely misused them. Yeah.
What do you mean by widely misused them?
Because people can claim it's OEM parts, but it's actually how should I put it? Fake parts or badly manufactured parts. But they claim it's OEM.
Okay.
Like this one. It has no marking or like made in where or part numbers or any company who made this is completely blank. So
I see.
questionable part lah, I would say. That's right.
So this guy also lah, this is not the original.
Yeah, that's right. So the front one currently they are still removing it. So later we will see lah what is the thing like. But we're not too sure. You have to open up and see first, see if there's any part numbers or anything like that. Usually they should have no matter how old the car is. If the stickers come out, that means it's usually not a very good part.
No, good news.
Yeah, I mean usually even though you say the lower end OEMs, normally it will still have some markings or some stickers on. Yeah,
that's bad news, man.
Yeah, but at least now we solve it. So
I so wish I'm waiting to drive this car after everything is sorted out.
Yeah.
I hope this solves majority of the driving quality and the comfort of the ride.
The dynamics in the car and handling and everything lah. Because actually the main thing is safety. A lot of people say that I can go around the corner faster. Actually, it's safety.
I think a lot of people don't know that the dampers is the one keeping the tires on the floor.
Correct. Besides having good tires, the next important thing is actually the shocks.
The shocks
and the springs. So a lot of people mess these two things up. Then the whole car will become very terrible to drive. At the same time, become very unsafe.
Especially in the wet and rough surface.
Correct. That's right.
Alright.
Okay.
Thanks, Adrian.
You're most welcome.
Hey guys, so I'm here with my baby B and we're about to collect her today. I'm so excited, but I just want to show you to the extent of what we've changed in this car. So first and foremost is the rear damper we talked about. The rear damper is, like I say, it's some random brand. And then this is the front damper, which is also some random brand over here. In fact, the mounting is not even the factory spec. This is the tie rod which completely broke this. This is what causes the steering wheel to go click like a clock. One, you can see that it's all completely like gone. Okay, this is the petrol pump, the fuel pump that was cracking. So it's good to, this is important for safety. Okay, so many parts being changed. The absorber, and it's also, look at that, gone. But the funny thing that is the team found out there's a lot of these things actually belong to E36 and some even not even BMW parts or BMW factory specs. So I'm glad that we're able to shift it all back to the original. And that's the plan for Baby B anyways. We want it to be as vanilla as possible. So yeah, this is to the extent of things. A lot of things are not not BMW. Sometimes you don't know what it is until you actually tear the car apart. And this has been, although I spent some money, I know, but you know, I want to share this with all of you guys so you know that that's the journey of owning classic cars, right? You gotta be able to put up with these things like this, and You know, surely the old car was movable, was great, but you know, just not as original as it should be. So yeah, let's go and check out how the car drives later on. But thanks so much, Adrian and the team for thanks so much for helping me figure this out. I would have done it myself. So it's been 3 weeks to 4 weeks since I've taken Baby B out of the workshop, and I wanted to share with you the experience of the car afterwards. In fact, I actually did a video immediately after taking the car out of the workshop, but I decided to scrap that video because I wanted to not only give you my first impressions of the repairs, but I wanted to take it in and to see how it affects me as an owner, because some of you may or may not know, this BMW E30 is my daily driver. So has it affected the usage of this car? Has it affected how I feel about this car as a daily driver, and so on and so forth, okay? And of course, I'll be sharing with you the financial damage as well. Alright, so the first thing that really changed with how this car feels like for me is the confidence element. So back before I repaired this car, the front, especially the front axle, the tires, when it goes through rough surfaces, it used to make some not really crashing noise, but it used to vibrate like you can feel the damper in the car. You can feel that the damper is going like up and down, and it's making excessive noise. Now it maybe just be in my head, but it feels as if the dampers are not pushing the tires properly into the ground. So I'm constantly afraid that the front axle will break traction, okay, because of the damper, especially on rough surfaces. Now in Malaysia, you know that we have a lot of rough surfaces. So this has been completely eliminated with the repairs. So this has actually allowed me to now take this car on spirited drives. So I took BBB on, I think last 2 weeks ago, did almost a 3-hour drive through and flow, and have no issues dealing with rough roads and B roads whatsoever. So that's a big improvement, I feel, in confidence. The second thing I started to notice in the confidence element is the way the car takes a corner. Before I repaired this, the rear axle used to somehow lift up and down, and I'm going through high-speed corners, and depending on the angle, it can be a 60 kilometers an hour corner, it could be 90, but the back used to feel like it's lifting off. Not a nice feeling to have. After repairing this, the rear sits nicely into the corner. In fact, it inspires so much confidence, and now with even speeds up to 100, 110 high-speed corners, the tire even doesn't squeal. It got me really thinking, like, wow, if this is a stock, feeling, how is it like if I actually, fix the springs or change more, better suspension, Bilstein, maybe like B12 or something like that, and fit in a bigger, engine and stuff. And it got me to really start appreciating Baby B in a very different way. To think that, hey, if this is so great at stock, what would it be like if it's on performance tuning, right? And I can see why a lot of people like to use this car, use this chassis to to tune it to touring cars, racing cars, etc. Okay. Let's talk about the more important factor then, because this is my daily car. How did it affect my comfort on the day-to-day driving? It has a huge change on comfort. Now before this, my suspension used to crash onto minor potholes, bumps and stuff like that. And it used to go like bang and bang, like it's jarring. It makes you feel like the car is going to fall apart, right? And after changing all of this, huge difference, right? Way more comfortable. Now by no means it's like silent or like an air suspension, but it's comfortable enough to ride on a daily basis. The way the car used to rock back and forth. Now, before I changed the suspension and repair all of this, so whenever I lift off my accelerator, the car rocks back and forth and make this weird sound. I mean, it doesn't sound like that, but you get what I mean. It makes this weird sound, and that's not a comfortable feeling to have, that rocking and also the sound. Completely gone as well. So with that fix, I actually drive this car more often right now. So yeah, it's actually worth it. It's actually beyond my expectation on how the car improved. And speaking of beyond my expectation, let's talk about something else that has exceeded my expectation. which is the bill, right? The financial damage. So I initially expected to pay roughly around 5,000 ringgit-ish, 1,000 plus US dollars, 1,300, 200 US dollars, including the tires and rims. But it has, there's a lot of things. Over here you can see it's pretty long. It has 34 items, and it's gone all the way to 7,500 ringgit. And now if I plus the tires, it's probably around 8,500 ringgit. So for the people, my friends who are non-Malaysian ringgit inclined, that's roughly around 2,200 US dollars. So yeah, a significant amount spent on repairing the car. Now the question is, was it worth it? Well, the answer is yes, because it's my daily driver. Not only I want to drive it more often right now, I can use it more variety of uses for the car, like spirited runs and road trips and etc. But more importantly, it's also the safety element, because after all these things are not just for performance and feeling and stuff like that, but it's also for safety. So it definitely gives me more confidence to drive this car more often because of the safety aspect of it as well. So definitely worth it, even though it's way beyond what I had planned on my budget. Okay. Now the question is the car completed right now? Is BBB completed? By no means it is completed, but I'm going to quote Chris Wee. It says, a classic car is never complete. Okay. So what are the other plans that's coming on with this car right now? First thing, small things like the gear bush. It's a bit loose, we're going to change that. I'm thinking of also refreshing the interior, so I'll be getting some Napa leather to be wrapped around the front dashboard, the seats. I mean, we're getting a customized seat for BBB, not the M-Tech or the original seats, because I want something more comfortable as a daily ride. Now the more concerning part now is the exterior. The exterior is, there's a bit of rust in front and the side, and that's a bit concerning, and I think I found somebody who I know can fix all of this with confidence, but also to give it a nice spray paint job as well. So what color would it be? Well, you gotta stay tuned to find out. So if you want to find out about the color, to get updated about that, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you won't miss any video we upload in the future. And also please let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this whole process? Okay, and if you have any questions, please ask them in the comments below as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit the like button and smash it. In fact, okay, a lot of work is put out over here, and the reason why I share all of this is because I want to be as transparent as possible to let people know what it's like to own a classic. Alright, I hope that helped you decide to actually own a classic or to hold off until you feel more confident. Okay, so yeah, that is the end of this video. There'll be more coming up about BBB, and yeah, till then, be safe, love you guys, and keep it at 100%. I'm out. Peace, guys.